Welcome to the third and the final part of Yummy Foods, Veggies and more. Here I'll be painting Skillet Breakfast, Pistachio Ice Cream Cone, Heart-Shaped Lollipop and Homemade Sandwich. So let's start with the Skillet Breakfast. For this one I made a lot of mistakes. The color combinations and the color that I used did not match the color that was given, as well as I made a lot more mistakes. So the mistakes I made with this painting was, first, I used a thick layer of black for the background. That is, I used black as the primary layer for the pan, and since it's a dark color, overlaying the other colors on top of it became hard. Also, instead of using white, I used silver color, and that made the things a little bit more difficult. So here I am using silver color and overlaying it on top of the black instead of the white. And as you can see, it is a little bit difficult. For me to overlay it on top of the black, as I have to apply a lot of pressure to overlay it. Till now it appeared good, but when I tried to overlay more color on top of it, it became much harder. Here you can see how hard it is to add more color on top of it. I was not able to add the crepassed oil pastel on top of it. Instead of this, I had to use Mugio oil pastel. This time also I am using Mugio oil pastel, as the crepass was unable to be overlaid on top of it. Also, the colors are not appearing that much vibrant because of the silver color underneath them. Again, as you can see, I was not able to add the green. Instead of the green, I had to use pale yellow from the gallery oil pastel. Later on, I'll be adding green on top of it. So continuing on with the rest of the painting. Here we go with the green, overlaying it on top of the pale yellow from the earlier. Now enjoy the rest of the painting. Now you can clearly see the silverish color that we use instead of the white has made all the colors look a little bit dull. To rectify it, I used a lot more contrasting color for the greens and the reds. So with this I am done with the Skillet Breakfast, with which I made a lot of mistakes. Now moving on to another Skillet Breakfast dish. This time, to avoid the mistakes I did earlier, I surrounded the bacon, tomato as well as omelette with a black color. And now I am going in with the white instead of the silverish color. And with these we are done with the Skillet Breakfast. Now moving on to Pistachio Ice Cream. So this one is one of my favorite. I enjoyed it a lot. As I have painted the ice cream cones earlier, It was a little bit easy for me to follow along, but I learned a lot from this. The color combination was different, as well as creating pattern for the ice cream cone. I learned a few more things from that. So now let's paint. Enjoy the speed paint. And with this I am almost done with the base layer for the ice cream. Moving on to the cone. Starting with going over the outline with the oil pastel. Now creating the pattern for the ice cream cone. So creating the pattern for the ice cream cone is a little bit time consuming, and you have to pay more attention to the detail. Now going in with the light shade for the ice cream. Both the ice cream and the ice cream cone are multi-layered and multi-color, so I had to go back and forth a lot many times till I was satisfied with the painting. And with this I am done with the first ice cream. Now moving on to the second one. For the second one we have raspberry ice cream cone. So I'll be following the same steps and instructions that I learned from the pistachio one. So enjoy this raspberry ice cream cone. This one is much simpler and easier. And with these I am done with the pistachio ice cream cone as well as the raspberry ice cream cone. So here's a side by side comparison. Now moving on to the lollipops. For the lollipop we have heart-shaped lollipop and an oval lollipop. So of all the food illustration painting, this one is the easiest and the fastest one. Starting with basic pencil sketch for the heart-shaped lollipop. And now let's paint the lollipop. Adding the highlights with the white. Adding the glossy effect for the lollipop with the white. Finally, adding the lollipop stick. And with these I am done with the lollipop. Now moving on to the second lollipop, the green one. Here I made a mistake, the shape is not completely, it's a little bit crooked on the top side. Using white to add the glossy effect for the lollipop. Finally, adding the lollipop stick with the white. And with these we are done with the heart-shaped lollipop and the oval lollipop. Here's a side-by-side comparison of both the lollipops. Now moving on to the final painting, homemade sandwich. Now let's start the final one. For this we have two sandwiches, one with the tomato and the other with the avocado and the egg. So starting with the first one, I'll not bore you with how I made mistakes and what are the steps and the procedure that I followed along and other things. So enjoy the sweet paint. And with these I am done with the first sandwich. Moving on to the second one, the avocado and the egg one. Starting with the basic outline for the shape of the sandwich. And with these we are done with both the sandwiches. Now to conclude this video, here are the 10 paintings that I learned. The coffee, the lemonade, the pear and the apple, fresh coconut, perfect memento and red chili, the raspberry cheesecake and the blueberry cheesecake, Skillet Breakfast, Pistachio Ice Cream Cone and Raspberry Ice Cream Cone, the Heart-Shaped and the Oval Lollipop. If you enjoyed or liked this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and the sandwiches.